Today I'm going to make something called chicken a la king. It's probably my top 5 comfort foods to make. It's chicken and it has a creamy white sauce that you make it in, and you pour it over rice. So I would say that this is probably one of the best meals you can make in the cold weather. It's still good in summertime, but it's a very comforting meal. I do put all my recipes in the description underneath the videos, so you can always find my recipes if I don't tell you every amount during my video. I'll try to keep you apprised of all the amounts while I'm doing the video, but if somehow I miss one item, that you will always be able to find the recipes under the video in the description. I hope you enjoy this meal. Okay, so the items that we're going to have is we're going to have butter, flour, and milk, because that's what we're going to make the gravy with. We're going to have mushrooms, pimentos, frozen green peas. These are the best kind to use. We're going to have chicken broth, and we're going to have about 4 cups of chicken. So, like I said, the recipe will be on the description. I might, as I go along, I'll probably try to tell you how much of everything. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to chop up 8 ounces of mushrooms. Okay, so the mushrooms can just be sliced right about like this. The whole mushroom, you can just slice it like this. Okay, so we're going to slice up 8 ounces, which is a small pack of mushrooms. You can also buy them already pre-sliced, but I usually buy them whole and slice them myself. So the next step is we're going to cut up about 4 cups of chicken. I made my own chicken broth. When I make chicken a la king, I boil the chicken. You can use white meat or dark meat. In this case, I have boneless, skinless thighs. So I use the broth that I boil the chicken in, so I don't need to buy store-bought broth. It doesn't matter how you do it, but if you're going to make this, you might as well use your homemade broth that you boil the chicken in. So this is boneless, and it's also skinless, so it's pretty easy. So you can just cut it up. It can be a little shredded, it doesn't matter. And when I made the chicken stock, when I boiled it, I made a chicken stock, and I put, carrots and celery and onions in it, because then whatever chicken broth or chicken stock that you don't use for this, you can just have that and drink it. It's super healthy. So when I make chicken broth, I always put onions and carrots and celery in it. So this chicken will have a little bit of that in it. So the best broth is the one that you can make from scratch. And like I said, you're going to have to cook this meat. I always boil it, and you might as well just make your own broth. Okay, after we dice our mushrooms and chop up our chicken, we're going to put a 1/2 cup of butter in your saucepan. And we're going to melt it on low, because as you know, butter burns. So we're going to melt this whole cube on low. Okay, once your 1/2 cup of butter is completely melted, then you're going to put in all your mushrooms, your 8 ounces of mushrooms. And you're going to turn up the heat a little, probably to about a medium, to start sauteing them in your butter. So this will cook at kind of a medium low for about 5 minutes. Okay, the mushrooms have been cooking on low for about 6 minutes, and like I said, around 5 minutes. So this is how you want them. So they've been sweated, and they're just how you want them to be. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a 1/2 cup of flour, and we're going to kind of do it gradually. We're not going to just throw it all in at once. So we want all the lumps to be blended in. And we're also going to be pouring in 1.5 cups of whole milk. You could use heavy cream, or you could even use half and half, but I use whole milk because it doesn't need, you don't need the heavy cream. Whole milk is plenty. But like I said, It's your option if you want to add heavy cream, half and half. Whole milk to me is just right. So we're going to add the milk and the 2 cups of chicken broth that you boiled the chicken in. So that's what we're doing right now. So when you made your chicken broth, you have, salt and pepper in it. I'm going to put a little bit of salt. I'm just doing it to taste, and a little bit of pepper. And what you're going to kind of do is you're going to bring this sauce to a boil, and it's going to thicken more as you boil it. And you're going to kind of boil this like at a medium to medium high for about 4 to 5 minutes. So after this mushrooms and the sauce cook for about 5 minutes, you're going to add your frozen peas at the very end. It's a cup of frozen peas. You're going to add your pimentos, which I only use a 4-ounce little jar of them because it's plenty. You drain the juice from the pimentos, and I use a 4-ounce little jar. You don't need more than that. I find that 4 ounces is just right. Okay, and then the very last thing you're going to put in is your 4 cups of chicken that you cut up. And that's pretty much going to be all that goes in there. And you're just going to, I probably should have used a larger saucepan. So here it is. It's pretty much done. I did put it in a larger saucepan because it turned out that I needed it. What you could do, if you want, is you could add a little bit of, like I found some half and half that I just opened, and I thought it might be kind of nice to give it a little richer. Some people use this all along. I don't like to. I like to just use whole milk. But sometimes it's nice to add a little bit more of either heavy cream or half and half without having to use as much. And it will make it a little thicker and richer. So we have rice cooking, and I'm going to pour it over the rice as soon as it's done, and we'll give it a taste. Okay, here's our chicken a la king. It's very rich and creamy. Let's give it a try. Real hot. Super creamy. Super hearty. Just what we need on a day like this. You got to give this one a try. It's really good. Thank you.